papiando de permitting yourself to grow is say eigenlijk me quero touch a little bit upon. So misaku ora boso abai afo. It's a very difficult journey. Awo tawad tem momento na ko bosta mane, okay, this is my time, and from now on, mi vai começar a permitir-me mesmo a crescer, door de hasi isaki, door de purba isaki, door de doing these things.
Again, when I went there, everything was very scary at first until I realized that I have to be able to permit myself to new experiences and permit myself to experience new things.
Right.
I would say my journey there has been honestly quite, I wouldn't say easy because nothing comes easy in life, but I would say that my journey there was very, it helped me grow a lot as an individual. Again, I feel like everyone in life experiences a downfall now and then, or, you know, some people I feel like everyone experiences some sort of, I would say, how do we say this properly? I just feel like a lot of people sometimes you feel as if you're not doing enough, or you're not, you're putting a lot out there, but it's still not what you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not feeling the satisfaction of putting enough work out there, or you feel as if you're not enough, stuff like that. So I feel like those moments of having or feeling as if you're not enough, or feeling as if, you know, I've reached like my weakest point, that also helps to build character. I've had a lot of moments out there where I felt, oh my God, I'm never gonna make it. Oh my God, I'm not gonna do this. Oh my God, this is not what I imagined. You know, like I've experienced some sort of like a roller coaster ride, right? You go up, then you go down, you go up, but down, right? So I've experienced some going down, like really like down. And afterwards, I realized that I always came out of that situation stronger. So those moments, I also feel like you have to feel down sometimes in order to get back up. So all of the process of going through happiness, sad, anger, all of these emotions that come with this new roller coaster ride is going to help you and permit yourself to grow as an individual, as a person. So I would give new students that advice as well, is to don't beat up yourself because you've made a mistake, or you feel at your worst, or, you know, you feel sad today, or something happened that you don't feel at your best. Allow those emotions and welcome those emotions in your journey, because every single part of this journey will shape the person that you are, and you will come out of it stronger, better, and just ready to take on new things. So that's my point of view on the subject.
We talk about character building, and developing your own character and stuff like that. What did they say? It's challenging, right? Because again, like, this is a moment where you're gonna like self-reflect on later, and you're gonna look back at things and be like, wow, like I did this way. And I think ora bumuda, or when you move somewhere, when you go somewhere, when you are out of your comfort zone, it's very hard to kind of look at yourself and be like, okay, like what am I gonna do now, or like what is like the next step, kind of. And then it's a moment of self-reflection on like, oh, okay, like what are my interests, what are my values, what are like the things that I put like most important in my life and like value the most, and kind of go off of that as what you're going to base yourself on. So like for me, when I moved there, it was difficult, right? Difficult. And what helped me was kind of like getting to know myself. And it's a new experience, right? Because you've never had to really do that before. And that you get to know yourself in a new perspective, in a new way. And then you can look at, okay, this is what I really, really value. And this is kind of like, that's how I found a lot of my friends. Like I went into clubs and stuff like that because of the things that I really valued. And things that were really important to me. And it's a moment of self-growth because you get to then like not pick and choose, but like you get to weigh your own values and stuff like that. And I mean, it helps you in a character building way because like, that becomes what you value the most and like what becomes important to you. And it's okay to make mistakes and stuff like that when you're first going through that and you're like, okay, like this is really important to me. And then later on you're like, oh, but this wasn't really like that important. But in like it's important to also like be in the moment of like this is important to me now. And later on you might look back at it and be like, that wasn't that important, but at that moment in my life that was really, really important.
Yeah.
So things like that, and don't be afraid to like make mistakes. We all make mistakes all the time.
Exactly.
20 times a day, I swear to you. But it's very important to not be afraid to make mistakes. Because we want to like do everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the first time that we do something, we want to be perfect at it. We want to do everything like flawlessly. We want to be the best at it.
Yes.
And it's very not realistic.
It's not like that.
But you really do get a knack for things after a while, and like then like because you're not good at something, maybe then it causes you to be like, okay, maybe this is not like the path that I want to go into then.
Yeah.
Because like, you can say Vanessa, like for example, your I'm at a loss for words. The degree that you're going towards, your occupation and stuff like that, things that you want to go towards, like you want to go to medical school, but you hate the study. But like, and it happens a lot, right? And you think it's something that it's not, and then you go and then you start doing the classes and stuff like that, and you're really like, wow, I really hate this. This is really miserable. And then, like, telling yourself that it's okay, that even though like you went to do something specific, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to like, you know, do something different. Like I went and I wanted to do international business. And then like in the back of my mind, I was always like, yeah, I want to do international business. But I never let that tiny little voice like actually tell me that like, hey, you hate math. And then you get there and it's like all math and you're like, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. And then like that really builds character. That really builds like, okay, I have dedicated some time to this and I'm gonna have to be okay with dedicating more time to something else and like tackling door na algo otro and stuff like that. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be like, okay, I said I was gonna do this, so I have to do growth, change, all of it is like it's part of life.
Yeah.
You know? Like that is mine.
Yes, absolutely. Midahaya, esa kita algo também que come up in last episode kung nós tem cultura de gewoon if something bad happens but a failure. Anto enomeste ta sina, si kos na bay bom, it's okay. Ting diferente opleiding ko po tuma, but a young ainda, there are different things ko po hasi ainda, ko po get back up, get on the road, do what you want to do. It's okay. It's totally fine.
Yes.
With the higher, could also explore that topic very, very well, if I may say so myself. I will explore otro tema que nós estava tendo para episode aqui, qual é fear of change, medo de cambio. Fear of change, ora me penso de fear of change, me penso de maneira, individuality como persona, desarrollo como persona, me penso de cultura, roots, me penso de responsabilidade, pero me penso também de rotina novo que eu ajustar o mês na dia. Vamos ter que mais riba individual change, no? Individual development. Kiko den boso mes como individual a mane cambia dor dia experiência biba a fu. Mane que característico nan di boso mesa cambia?
Arielle?
Being independent. Dat echt algo cool. Like it bleeds into from like the fear of discomfort and stuff like that. But really, like we are very comforted, very sheltered. We like si nos cinco hasi algo, we have people to help us and stuff like that. Pero when I was there and I didn't really have anyone like there around me to like, you know, no pabiso kung minuto ting hindi pa help me, pero kung may mesera hasi kosan ko only I was able to do that. No one else could do it for me. No one else could really like, help me out with that stuff. And then you kind of learn to be like, okay, I have to do this now. And time management, zelfstandigheid.
Yeah.
And all of these other beautiful things that sometimes we really, really are like, oh, I don't need that. Time management. And then the hopi fácil también, because like with my high school it was different because everything that na hora me tengo ko colegio, but tengo ba na cierta hora, but tengo cierta hora, but tengo sa cierta hora. Everything was like kind of scheduled in.
Mhm.
University it's not like that. I have a class at 10 in the morning and then I have another one at 4. Kiko mi tahasi kultura ora inana. And so like, what do I think? How do I manage my own time and how do I kind of do that? And like it all goes into like your individual kind of like growth and stuff like that. How you learn to adapt to like no stability whatsoever. But so you go from a very rigid school system, right? Like like whatever high school, and then suddenly you have a class that you have maybe twice a week, and then you still have to keep up with, and like, you have to do everything from that. And again, you're not baby. You're not like your hand is not held. You're not. But in clase and that's really like something that people struggle with. Or by the very structured, very rigid system to something that's so like blasé and so like yes, do what you will and like find something to do with your time. Yeah. That I take.
I honestly agree with you 110%, like 150% even. Like you have to learn, like new students, like you have to learn to be independent. You're going to have to learn to do things on your own accord. You're going to have to manage your own time and do things that benefit you and your, basically the time that you put into whatever you do. For me personally, it also, this new journey obviously helped develop my character even more. I would say before moving to Toronto, I had an idea of who I was.
Mhm.
And when I went there and I was completely on my own,
Mhm.
I finally got to live out my true self. Again, Aruba is a very close-minded community. Aruba is very, I would say traditional.
Yeah.
I would say traditional. And when I went out there, it was a completely new world because you get to know people from everywhere around the world. You get to see many different people and their perspective on things. And you also get to develop yourself as a character. You finally get to realize what I like to do, what I don't like, what I stand for, what I don't stand for. And I feel like that process of getting to know yourself as an individual is very important for in the long run, because you finally get to have a sense of who you are. And I know that I'm only 20 and there's a lot more development, there's a lot more growth to be done in the future, in the near future actually.
Yeah.
But every single step of the journey is important, whether it's a small step, a huge step, a little step. All of these things help you shape who you are as an individual. It helps you stand up for what you believe in, find your voice, rely on yourself more, be confident in your choices, be more independent, manage your time well, manage your budget your money very well, like manage your money. Like, like all of these things like come into play once you find yourself as an individual out there, because everything comes from yourself. No one tells you what to do.
Yeah.
People can give you suggestions as to what to do, but at the end of it, you can either choose to take that suggestion and do something with it, or ignore that, like don't use it at all, and follow your own heart and follow your own decision. So all of these things are very, very important.
Yeah, I totally agree. Me da hayata super importante pahasi isayan because that's when you really blossom as an individual. That's when you discover minota yudi tal hende, minota yudi isaki of prima de saki, mita bosa Joshua Garcia of mita Arielle Hill. This is who I am as an individual. This is how I know that because da 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 da. Sí.
Yes.
Echt. Bosa ba mencionar algo super interessante tocante cultura. Sim que nós está bem de Aruba, então nós temos valor, nos princípios, nos cultural ways, nos maneira de estar, nós está na roupa amical. Ora, bo vai um caminho um caminho novo, uma cultura nova. Como você manter bo cultural roots de uma Cuba bem?
With me, I'm very proud to say that I come from Aruba. I'm very happy to have been raised up in such a, for the most part, safe environment.
Yeah.
'Cause we hear many news from many different places. You see that they're not as blessed as we are growing up in this island.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Aruba don't know how blessed we are to have been able to grow up in an environment or grow up in a place like we did.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy. Like, do you know how impressed people are when you go out there and tell them you can speak 4 different languages? Like, that is like people are like so impressed with that. And over here it's like it's normal. It's like, oh, it's not that impressive because like we grew up with it. So a lot of these things shape up or also play a role as to how you handle with new change out there. I am very proud of my roots and I am very proud of where I came from. And the way I maintain that out there is to always remember the values that I grew up with in a household here in Aruba. Always remember what my parents taught me from such a young age, and also remember that what my community taught me, which is to always stay strong and, believe in yourself and help others as much as you can in a time of desperation and in a time of when we need help the most. And even though here in Aruba we are not perfect, there's a lot of change to be done. Personally speaking, there's a lot of change to be done here in the community because I still feel like we are such a close-minded community for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part, we are. However, we need to also understand that change takes time.
Yeah.
And we can't expect things to change like from one day to another. So what I suggest people who want to bring change is take what you already know and take what your culture has given you, take what you know from your roots and adapt with that. So that way people understand more of where you're coming from. So I hope I didn't go off the lines of, I really hope I stayed on topic there because I started talking about a whole different thing. But
no, it's all good. We're in the rails.
Yeah. Just so I'm like on track. But yeah, I would say for the most part, that's what helped me stay true to my roots is just know what I stand for. Always keep what I've learned growing up in Aruba and what I've learned in a household in order to help me adapt more to a new culture that I'm going to experience and, being able to grow in a new place. So that's what I would say helped me.
Arielle?
So, when you go somewhere, you have, Mandisa, it's part of growing up, not as much of moving somewhere new as it is growing up and stuff like that, and getting new information of like things that you maybe had like a previous opinion on. Mm-hmm. And you had a very strong opinion maybe on this, but this is like you learned something new, you experienced something in life, and then suddenly your opinion of that completely changed. And
yes, Arielle, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you, but yes.
No, I mean, because then like maybe some of the values that we grew up with, yes, you're absolutely right. We are very sociable people. We know 4 languages. We are very interactive with people. And that's all coming from a very touristic, very like happy-go-lucky island that we're in. And like those things, yeah, they kind of like stay with you. But things that you learn later on then, or things that you experience and like opinions that maybe like your family had here, but you didn't kind of understand, then you go somewhere else and then you're like, oh, this is what it is. And to, like, not be afraid to like have your opinions changed. Like maybe you had a certain stance on this and maybe you're like, oh, but like I already thought this, so I have to stay in that like mentality, like I made like statements about that and something like that, and like maybe people will remember that I said this, and now suddenly I changed my mind. And it's something so crazy to me that like people think that they can only have one opinion of something. That like we constantly go through change, like constantly nos mudando, nos tenemos que caminar, nos viva algo diferente, nos experiencia algo diferente, pero la idea es que nos no like also evolve our own thinking and stuff like that, and like change our perspective. It's kind of wild to me.
Yeah.
But like that's something that I really want to kind of impress on people, that like it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to have a different opinion on something that maybe you didn't understand, maybe you didn't know that much about, maybe you were very ignorant in the past of like that specific issue, and now that you've learned about it, you're super passionate about it, and that's kind of like the change, right? Porta algo ko ba tabi experiencia na merka ta algo ko nunca mo experiencia na ru. And then suddenly you become very, very passionate about it. Oh, in Toronto, you experience something that like in Aruba, it's very like, oh yeah, that's a thing, yeah. Like, in Toronto, holy crap. No, and I don't know. It's okay to change your opinions. It's okay to have your opinions evolve. It's okay to be like in a midway point where maybe something that really mattered to you right now, it's like,
this little thing.
And it's things that you will learn. Your opinion will change over and over and over and over again, and the values that you have will kind of blend into them. Like maybe the kindness that Basiya Naruba bleeds into something else. Maybe it helps you out with different things in life and stuff like that. You will still have your values, and you will still have the things that you grew up with and stuff like that. Pero don't be afraid to change it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to change your
Yeah.
If you are in a position where you really feel like, oh, pero like I have really strong opinions about it, it's okay to have really strong opinions the other way. Now that you're now informed. And it's not that you're changing your mind. It's not that before you were stupid. It's that you were maybe in a different situation where you didn't see things in a specific way. That is all character development. That is all part of the change, the part of the ebb and the flow and the this and the that. And very happy.
Yes.
But yes.
Yeah, esta verdade, esta maneira você tá bisa que de onde nós está bem, nós tem tipo de mentalidade que algo nós tem pensar que algo com a word indoctrinado em nós maneira bisa, door nossa família, like whoever, com a gente nos cabeça, eta algo que nós tem acaba como pensamento, então nós não pode cambiar. Nós tem que normalizar que o pensamento não tá cambia as we grow and as we change. Eta gewoon algo normal. We all experience it. It's about time que nós está gewoon normalizar que things change, thoughts change, opinions change.
Yes, say it louder. Say it louder.
For the people in the back?
For the people in the back, say it louder.
Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, me quero apuntar so we touched upon routines a little bit, tiki the hobbies, pero me quero apuntar so when you guys got accustomed to being there, boso adaptar, etc., etc., school novo, whoop-de-woo. O kung boso amane explorar rutina ng novo, quizás hobbies ng novo, ayuda boso din e tempo que boso me será começar a adaptar.
Arielle, you want
I threw you under the bus first. Go.
Okay. Yes, definitely. When I got there, I got accustomed to a routine and a whole new schedule to help me keep myself on track. In the program that I am doing graphic design. And in my program specifically, you need to have a certain routine and you need to have a schedule because it requires a lot of time out of you to hand in projects. And sometimes you have big projects like a lot of big projects at the same time, like 3, 4, 5 big projects at the same time. So you have to really manage your time very well. However, as I said before, I am a very artistic person. So I love to keep myself busy all the time, whether that's with my designing and whether it's with my projects. And also something that's very important to me is physical activity. I love being very physical and really worry and work on my physical strength and health and stuff like that. So I am a gym junkie. basically, I love like I love going to the gym. I love working out. I love being active. So when I was there, I really made sure to really put my really make my schedule work within my gym time and my physical activity. So I made sure to, for example, if I have a class from, I don't know, let's say 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. I would finish my classes. I would go home. I would go to the gym, work out, take a shower, and afterwards I would make sure to work on my things. Right, I would make sure to work on my project. So I did find a routine that really helped me everything together. And also, I am a dancer, and I've been doing ballet specifically for 5 years. So when I went to Toronto as well, I made sure to really find a school to continue with my ballet journey and to continue with my ballet training, and I also fit that within my schedule. So when you are out there, you also, as Arielle mentioned before, you do find your character, and you do find what you value most, and you do find the little things that make you happy and help you through your journey there. So I do encourage everyone to find new things that make you happy, explore new things, new hobbies, whether you like to dance, sing, paint, read books, find a library that you love to go to, find that little cafe at the corner of the street that you would enjoy go to read, to work, find a routine that really helps you flourish and really keeps you active and makes you happy. So I did find my routine eventually that really helped me flourish into a more happier person. And, I enjoy doing the things that I do. So that's basically my little routine that I kind of developed while I was there.
All good and dandy. No, for me, like you mentioned reading. I adore reading. And it was really difficult. It was really difficult for me in the beginning because it's like you start reading a book and then like you forget about all the 20,000 assignments that you have.
Yeah.
That became really important for me in the beginning to start managing my time better. And okay, I have a class at this time. Like in between classes, I can get in a quick book or something like that, or read something, and not start something right as I know that I have to start a project too, and kind of balance out things, figure out your own patterns first of all, and then kind of use that to base off okay, I'm not going to do this because then I'm not going to get this done, or I'm not going to, and I don't know, for me, I really, when I went in there, I really got more into sustainability and environmental studies and stuff like that. So that to me was also very important. So I would do different club activities and stuff like that that had to do with that. And then it again became an issue with okay, I want to do this, but this assignment is due. So let's kind of not. And no, I don't know. It's very, very difficult sometimes to look at yourself as a person and be okay, I have these habits. Let me then work the best that I can to avoid falling into any negative traps or something like that. But so hindi niri para what you're doing, and then it ends up being a bad grade on a project, or you couldn't make it to a class because you didn't tackle in your time right and stuff like that. So it's very, very important to kind of manage your time and know the type of person that you are, so that you can kind of fit your environment and your routine even better. Because if you have a calendar, if you have everything marked down to the minute, it won't matter if you're a person that won't keep to it. If something that you're trying to be a little bit too optimistic about everything that you're doing, it's better to be very realistic about the person that you are and how your patterns work, kind of work with that.
Exactly.
And grow in that sense.
I definitely think, lo cual vos também está roupa importante. Vora se botu hende ku quizás bono po keep the time of bossa, bot também realístico, hey, ti certa coisa mi não tinha capacidade de fazer. It's okay. Hasele na bo tempo, anto bota adaptar de que como por. Busca rotina que tá hasi ku não solamente bota logra lo cual boke hasi, pero também está manageable too, no? Porque bono tá pone tanto goals, tanto bo hasi, então bono tá logre. Hasele na amount ku abosa ku bo poyega na je say eventually maneira você tá visa eventually bota pick it up and that be routine you just get used to day to day. Well,
Yeah.
this was such a lovely conversation, but I'm going to have to conclude the episode. Totoo pilik para conversar com você, seguro algo super interessante. Danke para participar do podcast AWE de episode 2 de Reality Check. Para me nos clausurar episode, me quero descontra você. Se você tem any challenges que você lo que dona nos oyente, não? Just short and sweet challenges. Maybe like a little advice.
Like a little advice. I would say the biggest advice, advice / challenge is don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there in a new environment. Don't be afraid to say hello to a new stranger that could potentially be your best friend in the long run. Don't be afraid of the little things that eventually will matter. Whether it's making a new friend, asking a specific question in the classroom, accepting an invitation to go out to explore the city. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because going to a new country is scary, but it's also very, very, very exciting, and you're going to create many wonderful memories. So that's a challenge for new students. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Yes.
For me, it's more about learning everything that you can. Like Bambisa, you just got there, you don't know how to cook. Learn how to cook. Google is beautiful.
Yes.
Fabulous. You don't know how to make rice, there's a Google, like there are 20 Google articles on it. Like you just put rice, how to, that's it. You know, like cook new things and do new things, and like learn how to do your laundry. Learn how to do your laundry. Learn how to clean better. Learn how to like explore better. Learn how to like, speak the language better. Learn how to just like learn everything and absorb everything. Become a sponge. Just absorb everything that you can, because like everything is new and everything is fresh, and like you just kind of want to go back to what you're used to, but that's not going to help you. Just absorb everything. Look at what people are doing and try to also be more out there. Like Josh said, like be out there. Don't be afraid to like ask someone a question or something like that, or how do I do this, or they know how to do something and you don't know how. Ask. Go for it. And that also helps you with like being independent, being like okay by yourself, and just become a sponge.
Just go absorb, become a sponge. Well, thank you guys. Dia mais, Masha, danke para participar desse episode aqui de Reality Check. E para esse não que escutando, off the base da Wagnos, thank you so much para sintonizar episode 2 de Reality Check. Se algo gusta episode aqui, please não olvide de like e share com os friends e com family para assim nos poder chegar na mais jovem possível. Además de esse, também não olvide, nós também temos mais episodes para Reality Check. Se você está interessado para escutar mais de Reality Check, stay tuned. De outra viaja, ayo!
Bye!